Hello, I'm Garner Mayor Ronnie Williams. We're here today for another episode of the show that we call Great People in Garner. With us today is longtime businessman, Garner resident Jerry Jones. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Jerry, you're a Garner boy. You graduated from Garner High. What do you remember about your high school days? What was Garner and Garner High like in those days? That's a loaded question.
Well, I remember it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, probably some of the best years of our lives. I remember specifically as a sophomore thinking that school was fun, it was easy, our great teachers, and I really wondered if life could ever get any better than that. It was just a joy to be there. I know a lot of kids not that crazy about high school, but for us and my friends, it was just a wonderful time. So we really enjoyed it.
Some of those people stayed around Garner. You still see some of them on a regular basis, don't you?
We do. We get together at the Avonsboro restaurant on a monthly basis, the last Friday night of the month. I think you've been there and joined us a few times with Betsy. And it's just a great get-together. Good friends, lifetime friends.
Always will be.
Yeah.
I understand you had some adventures as a young man. You built a camper and traveled around the country. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it was a summer of 1972. I just graduated from East Carolina and wanted to take a little time off before I started working, getting into a regular career, and bought an old Datsun pickup truck and built a camper on the back of it in the backyard of where I was living on Johnson Street. And me and another friend were going to just travel the country, and something came up, a personal emergency. He couldn't go at the last minute, and so I just went and I was gone for. Got back around Christmas time, so I was probably gone a little less than 6 months, but just saw the country and just had a wonderful experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Wish everyone had the opportunity to do that kind of thing. Went to, had some friends in Boulder, Colorado, visited them. They were two pharmacists, one bartender, and all musicians. And so we played a lot of music and snow skied and when the winter came. And just had a great time there, and traveled on through California and Rockies, saw the Grand Canyon, the giant redwoods and sequoias, and a lot of national parks, and eventually made my way back here.
People would ask me in those days, "Where's Jerry?" And I would tell them he's out to find himself. Did you find yourself?
Several times, yes.
And you would do it again, right?
Yeah.
I've learned that you built a geodesic home in the mountains north of Asheville as a young man, where you were working in Asheville. First of all, what is a geodesic home, and what made you want to build that type of building?
Well, the geodesic was an invention of Buckminster Fuller, who was a mathematician and philosopher and an inventor, and he came up with the most efficient way of enclosing space, and that was the geodesic. And it was just something we were messing around with because we knew some people we used it as a home. And we made some models of them out of plastic soda straws, and we just took a soldering iron and kind of welded the end of the soda straws and put the triangles together. A geodesic is made entirely out of triangles, which is the strongest, one of these strongest structures. And it was interesting because we couldn't understand how you could take a flat structure like a triangle, put them together and make a sphere, which is the geodesic. So as we made our triangles and put them together, they come together, and the outside perimeter of the great triangles that make up this geodesic wouldn't fit around. It wouldn't come to a close. So as we brought the last soda straw together, it pops up. And we realized then how this actually forms.
I hope our viewers are taking notes.
Yes, it's very interesting. But it was an interesting structure to build, and we had a lot of friends up there who joined us, and we worked on it it's on a steep hillside, so we stepped it down on 3 levels foundation, and the 2 geodesic domes joined us on the center level. And we had our own, water system there, and it was just an interesting thing to do, and took us quite a while to get it done, but we lived up there for a couple of years and thoroughly enjoyed it.
A lifetime experience.
Absolutely.
You eventually found your way back to Garner during the 70s. What factored into your decision to come home?
Well, I was working at Bosch & Lomb making eyeglass lenses. We ground lenses for optometrists there in Asheville. And you will remember in 1973, the gas lines got long. We had a recession, we had an oil embargo in this country, And sometimes you couldn't even get gasoline. You couldn't travel. Gasoline stations were actually closed. And it was a little weird. And I remember my boss there at Bosch and Loam was convinced that this was the beginning of a depression. It was a recession, but it was going to get worse. And by that time, my dad had come back up there and talked to me about joining the insurance agency. So I agreed to come back to town here and join Jones Insurance Agency, which we did. And that was in '74. Joined my dad, Purvis, and Alex Umstead, who you'll remember, and Camelia, my sister, who's still working here, retiring in a few months, and Caroline Williams on Main Street. And of course, my dad died suddenly in 1976. He was 64 years old, and then Alex Umstead died when he was 51 years old. It was very shocking to everybody. We worked very closely together, as you know, for many, many years. And you knew him well. I think you worked together with him at the post office. So anyway, that got us back to town here. It's been a good experience.
You've answered this next question partially. Jones, you were located downtown. What was downtown like back then? Was it a hub of activity in its own way?
Yeah, it was Garner's hub. It was not nearly what it is now, but there were still a number of thriving businesses. I remember counting them up one day. There were 30 businesses that I counted. Of course, you would go through downtown and you wouldn't think there was probably 10 down there. But downtown Garner has a lot of hidey holes where you can have small businesses. So it was a thriving area then. And I remember the excitement of having Johnny Bagwell come in and open up his practice down there. Garner didn't have a medical practice like that at the time. When he opened the Garner Family Physicians down there, it was a very exciting time for Garner and for downtown to have him down there and join us. So.
Do you have a vision for the future of downtown?
Well,
a lot of renewed interest in downtown.
There is, and it's a great, it's a fun spot to be in. It's vibrant. The vision that I would have would be the same one that you're familiar with, the Garner Revitalization Association. They've done a great job in.
I think that full-time person is going to make a difference. Probably already have.
Yeah. And of course, John Hodges made a difference down there as a director. Got him off to a really good start. There's been a lot of people down there. Magdi, you. And Elmo Vance, Kathy Behringer. There's been a number of people who just worked really hard. A lot of people, yeah. And what with the new recreation center coming to downtown Garner now, it's going to be a real shot in the arm for that neighborhood. Opening up access to US 70 like we're going to do. So a lot of good things going on. I think it's going to be a great place to be. Just getting better and better.
Jones Insurance has been a cornerstone of local community for a long time. Can you speak about the importance of local, homegrown businesses to a community like Garner? There's value there.
Yes, yeah, one of my favorite subjects. Yeah, I think having people to buy locally is a good thing, and
we remember that.
We have so many people in this town that believe in that, and it's what keeps us going here at our agency. And all the restaurants and businesses and everything from flower shops to whatever is needed, it's just a great thing to have it here locally, so you don't have to travel to Raleigh and buy the goods and services that are so valuable, and provides employment to people here in the area. And there's just a lot of good business here, not just our business here and the insurance, but I know everybody can't buy insurance here, but we have other good agencies here in this town. Nick Petracus, Matt Davis, David Hunter. These people do a great job for their clients, and it's just good for people to ignore the siren call of the Geicos of the world and buy locally here, because these businesses can put back into the town in terms of supporting our churches, our fundraisers, our nonprofits.
Beauty pageants.
The beauty pageants, that's right, the Miss Garner pageant, and those kind of things. So it's a good win-win for everybody.
You served as president of the Garner Chamber during the early 80s. How big was the chamber then, and what was the local business community like back then? I think now they've got about 600 members, don't they?
Yeah, much smaller, as you can imagine, much smaller. Yeah, that was back in 1981, and I was following Horace Davis, who had done a spectacular job as our
big shoes to fill.
President. Yes, indeed. Horace is a great guy, one of my mentors. I spent a lot of time drinking coffee with Horace and Joe Sample back then, and them trying to train me how to be an asset to the chamber and to the business community here. And Frances Johnson, because she came on board, was our first really professional administrative assistant and really bumped up our game there at the chamber.
Especially in terms of visibility.
Yes, yes, it was good. And of course, at that time, we didn't have a building, and we were looking at buying that land where the chamber is located now. So we financed that mainly by contributions and bingo, which was quite.
In those days, it was a fundraiser.
It was a fundraiser, and it was fun.
You served with the Garner Volunteer Fire Department for a number of years. What was that like, and what did you get out of that experience? The camaraderie is part of it, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, you were there, and with the rescue squad. But I spent 7 years in the Garner Fire Department. I wish every young man in our community had the opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, it's difficult now with the advanced training requirements.
You don't have time for it.
You don't. It's very difficult to find the time to fulfill all the technical training requirements with the act as first responders now and the EMS training that you had, and you know how to do it, and you know how difficult that is. But it was a wonderful experience. Like you said, the camaraderie was great, and you get to learn a lot of things and have some fun too.
The Rotary Club puts back a lot into this community. You're a member. Mm-hmm. How do you benefit being a member of the Rotarian?
Well, the Rotary
Talk about
Club,
the oyster roast and all that stuff.
Yeah. The oyster roast is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and it's probably one of the biggest community parties that we have here in Garner. And it's been a great event. People support it. We serve a lot of people at that oyster roast each fall.
What is the Rotary motto?
Service above self. Yeah. And it's a good bunch of people. We're part of a national organization that does big projects worldwide. The Polio Plus, where they've spent many millions to eradicate polio worldwide, and they've got it down to the last 2 countries where there's just a few cases. And unfortunately, too much fighting going on there for them to get in there and get the immunizations done without the polio vaccine volunteers getting killed in the process, and that's happened a few times. But it's been a lot of good international work and local work too that we do here in our own community as part of the Rotary Club. We've given hundreds of thousands of dollars of scholarships through our own club here for our local students here, going on to 4-year and a little bit to technical schools in our area. And it's been a joy to sit and interview those kids as they're coming through. People complain about our school sometimes, but let me tell you, there's some bright, successful kids coming through that Garner High School. And it's been a joy to be a part of that process and to get to meet them and see them, how well they're doing.
Well, you have a passion for education. You put what you can, time and money into it when you can.
Yeah, we do.
Because you see the benefit from it.
Yeah.
And you've already alluded to that with what you said about what the Rotary Club does.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's very important to this town, and I think our schools don't get near the credit they deserve, and our teachers for the great product they're putting out.
Okay, we've switched pages here a little bit. I'm going to go off the record here, on the record, on the record, off the record. You got an airplane, don't you? Mm-hmm. Do you fly?
Yes.
Talk about your experience flying. Has it been good?
Good.
It's an outlet. It's a stress reliever, I imagine.
Yes, it is. It's totally engrossing when you're doing it. Obviously, it's been it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I've had a partner in this. Sherman Urgan and I flew for 15 years, and each summer we would take off for a week, 10 days, and just be gone. And of course, we would head west to the Rocky Mountains and fly and just have a great time. Take the golf clubs and the fly rods and just have a chance to fly every day. And it's just a wonderful experience. Get a chance to do things that we were very blessed to have that opportunity. And our wives were kind enough to give us a pass to go do it. So. And
I used to hear you would go. You went hunting with John Adams and a group. Was it hunting or fishing?
Fishing, yeah.
Big fish? Any fish?
Well, this is primarily rainbow trout. We like to fly fish, so we would.
Oh, fly fish.
Yeah, so we've been to Montana for that trip a few times, and a couple trips to Alaska, and well, they do grow them bigger, so it's a lot of fun to do that. And again, we've been very fortunate to be able to do something like that. It's a beautiful state, Alaskans specifically, and it's just been a lot of fun to go up there.
And the reason why I sort of segued off of what we were talking about, as much as you put back in the community in the past and the present, you have to have an outlet to de-stress, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And the fishing and the flying and all those contribute to that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great fun. You should try it sometime. I would recommend it for anybody.
Okay, let's talk about this town that we can't leave. I don't want to leave it. Do you?
It's a great place. Not going anywhere.
How do you see it in the future? What kind of direction is it headed in?
I think you said it best. Garner just keeps getting better and better, and I believe that. Now we've got proof right down the highway here of tremendous positive growth. It's just a wonderful place to be. As our friend Paul Capps came up with a little slogan here for Garner, and it truly is. I think people who come here, live here, work here, know it for what it is, and it's a great place.
And the best is yet to come. You believe that, don't you?
I do. And a good part of that is for your leadership. Our town board has done a great job to set an environment where these businesses want to come and can be successful here, and that's what we're seeing now, the fruit of all that.
Jerry, in 2013, the town of Garner sent a delegation to the All-American City competition. We came back a winner. What reflection do you think that puts on the town? Oh, it's got to be positive.
Oh, it is positive. It was a great event. Obviously, I remember going over there and welcoming our team back when they came back to town, and it was just a great celebration of a wonderful event, and deserved for this town, for everything that goes on here. It's just a great bunch of people here in this town. Everyone contributes to the sense of community that Garner has. Sometimes you don't know that. If you don't live here, you can't understand exactly that we do have a sense of who we are here in Garner. It's a little bit different from some of the communities and municipalities around Wake County. But it's a great place to be, and that's reflected in all the good things that we have here, the community organizations, whether it's the Rotary Club, the Civitans, the Optimists, the Lions, the Women's Club. You know, we just have a great bunch of people who support this community for all their charity work and nonprofits that go on here. And the GPAC, which is a wonderful place for the performing arts here that we have. And just so many good things here. The Community of Hope that does such a great job with their food pantry and the other programs. And we've just got a wonderful community here, and that was reflected by our team that went for that competition. They did such a great job, and we deserve that award.
Okay, as the town grows, the character of the town is changing somewhat. What do you see is happening there?
Well, it's changing, but
and let's pick up a minute on this expression. We don't want to. We always want to have that hometown feel, small town feel.
Yeah.
If we lose that, we've lost everything.
Yeah, and I think we're a long way from losing that. I think it's still here. People know that there's a community here, and I think it's reflected in all of our organizations that are so many people join and are part of here to support the community. But it's bigger, no question about it. In the old days, we knew most everybody in this town. When there was 2,000 people here.
You're right. I could go. Both of us could go to Piggly Wiggly and know everybody in there.
It's the truth.
Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, we knew the cashier, the manager, and first name basis by everybody. So, in that sense, you cannot know everyone now. So we see a lot of new faces here constantly, and that's a good thing. It brings a lot of new vitality and diversity to our community, and so we embrace that. It's a good thing.
Some people respond to that question by saying there's a slower pace in Garner. Is that true? As opposed to maybe Apex and North Raleigh?
Maybe so. Maybe so in some ways.
We're going to keep it slow as we can.
Slow good. It's fast enough. If we want to go fast, we go to Raleigh.
We can catch up with them, that's right.
It's one of the good parts about being a suburb of a great city like Raleigh. It gives us a chance to go there for the bigger venues and the other things that we really don't need in our community because we're different. But it's a good difference.
Early into his days, our last town manager wanted to go to Cooper's Barbecue, and he said, we need to leave at about 11 o'clock to get there by 11:30. I said, no. Let's see how quick we can get. We were parked at the door in 8 minutes.
Wow.
That's good.
Did you have a police escort?
Pretty much. They were behind us. No, he didn't realize that you could actually get into the heart of downtown Raleigh in 8 minutes. Here again, Jerry, it goes with our growth, but business and social life, otherwise, if you I'd have to talk with new people coming to town, what do you tell them about getting involved, finding somewhere to volunteer, churches, civic clubs? What do you tell them? They're your business customer first, I imagine, then they're your friend.
Right, yeah. Well, that's a good question. obviously a church will be a great spot, and we have wonderful church communities around here for people to choose from. The other thing is the civic clubs. I would strongly recommend people that want to get involved with the community, want to see what it's like, and learn more about Garner to at least visit and hopefully join the Civitans, the Optimist Club, the Rotary Club, the Lions Club. They're just good organizations, and they're obviously just integrated into our community and a great place to learn more about.
Purvis was Lions Club, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Yep, my dad was a Lions Club. I thought I would end up there, but
You found your niche.
yeah. Charlie McCullers and Raleigh Bannister he was our first president of our club. Recruited me to start one up here in 1978, and so I did that, and it's been a great organization to be a part of.
Very good. Like I say, it's been good. The interview's been good. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to say bye and come back again.
Thank you. Enjoyed it, Mayor. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, so that's something we've been focusing on, and we do these, and it's fun hanging out with the mayor sometimes.
Sometimes.
It always is.
Sometimes.
It's always good. Never a boring time.